folks, we're here today at what we fondly call in the neighborhood and the neighborhood bike enthusiasts, the garage. It actually is a friend of ours now. He's become a friend, David. He is not only a bike enthusiast himself, likes mountain biking, road biking, but he also is an excellent mechanic. So I have trusted him to bring back the Cannondale SV2000 into a proper working condition. So let's go talk to him and see what he has to say about it. Hey, David.
Hey, Tim.
How you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great.
Tell me what you think about this awesome bike. Well, I shouldn't say that. I think I might have...
You're a little biased?
A little biased, but...
No, but that's an accurate description. Thank you for bringing it by. This bike is absolutely pristine. It's hard to believe that this bike is from 1999. It's never seen dirt. It looks like it's been ridden around the block maybe a couple times, and I only say that because I can't believe anybody would buy a bike and not literally ever ride it. But this is bikes in showrooms that people would just ride around while they test it. That's about the mileage that this bike would have. So there isn't a mark on this bike. These are original decals. Nothing's peeling. The paint is a beautiful blue that would be very characteristic of the colors you'd see in the 90s. And everything was in amazing working order.
Hand grips and everything.
Oh yeah, no, these are of course they're the yellow grips to match the color, but they're not worn out. They're still, nothing's cracking. If you look at the gears, it's a triple chain ring with a nine gear cassette. That was pretty common back then.
So what did you exactly have to do to get it back to everything working properly?
So the nice thing is, this bike was so well cared for and protected that it really didn't need very much of anything. We put air in the tires, and I couldn't believe how perfect these tires are. These tires are as good as any of the tires on the mountain bikes or road bikes you see here. There's zero cracking. These tires are pliable, they're soft, so we had to add air. That's it. The tires are true, so the spokes are nice and tight. Spins beautifully. So we didn't have to mess with the tires other than adding air. It's a Schrader valve for this head shock, which is a unique design to Cannondale, and very innovative for the time. So we just added air underneath here. The valve comes up. You just put a normal Schrader valve, add air there. So this shock works great. And the brake fluid for the disc brakes, it is the original fluid, and I thought for sure we'd have to change that out, but we didn't. We just had to work it like you would do with any brake fluid of a mountain bike where the bike sat for a long period of time. You just have to work it, and it all loosened up, and we didn't have to touch it. So the brakes are great. Even this Fox shock didn't need anything done to it.
Wow.
And this bike is, you could shred trails with it and be safe if you wanted to.
Although what would you think would be the right thing to do if you were the new owner of this bike? What would you?
You know, given the uniqueness of this bike and how perfect it is, the cool colors, I think this bike would be great for someone to display either in a bike store or in a home. I just think it's sort of it's like a vintage painting kind of thing, and I almost think it would be a shame if you got it dirty and started crashing around rocks and stuff. You could do it. The bike's in good enough condition, but it's that rare find, like it was in a barn and it was protected, and I just think it would be super cool on a wall.
So would you put it in maybe a Porsche category of a barn find, that it'd be something?
Oh, it's exactly like that. It's like those stories you see of finding some vintage rare car that somebody bought and never drove, kept it in their barn for 40 years, and then somebody goes, well, what's this? And You know, you take off the dust that's on it, and there's a pristine car with, you know, less than 500 miles on it, and how, you know, that's just, you just don't find that anymore. So this bike's definitely rare, to have it in this kind of condition, and so that's why I think it would just be great hanging on a wall.
I also heard that Cannondale, and I didn't know this, that they were the first to come out with aluminum bikes when everybody else, I think, was doing the metal.
Yeah, that's right. So most of the bikes
steel.
back then were steel, and I had a steel GT back in the 90s. But aluminum, of course, being a lot lighter, that was the more innovative material. At the time, you weren't getting carbon. Certainly not on mountain bikes. You didn't have carbon frames. So the frame on this is unique in that regard. So everything about it, you know, it was handmade in the U.S. It's really it's a cool, iconic bike.
Very good. Well, David, hey, I appreciate your time, and I appreciate you fixing it all up, and we'll see what the people think.
I love it.
All right, my friend. Thank you.
Thanks, Tim.